Hey, Thrive Tribe, how you doing? Oh my goodness. It's so good to be with you this month. Oh my goodness. This is the month of gratitude. And of course, it would be the month of gratitude because, of course, we celebrate Thanksgiving during this month. And so I am so happy to be here with you to be able to, you know, coach you on this topic of gratitude. And we're really going to be talking all about the science, right? The science of gratitude and a path to greater joy and resilience. Of course, I'm Dr. Kiki Ramsey, and I'm so happy. I just want to say first that you are a part of the Thrive Tribe. I started Thrive Society because I wanted a place for women to be able to come to that allows us to learn together and grow together so that we can find our purpose and joy and happiness. And I think this is the place. And so every month I get to coach you, and it makes me so happy to do so because my goal is to make sure that you get to the place where you want to be in life. Right? Because we all deserve that. I truly believe that we all deserve that. And as I reflect over this past year, so many beautiful things have happened in my own life, and I've gone through some trials and challenges as well. I'm sure the same is true for yourself, right? In terms of having some really amazing high moments, because I've heard about some of them. You ladies have been able to share those with me, which I am always grateful when you're able to share with me. And then at the end of the day, I know that you've also gone through some challenges in your life as well. And so I think that that is can be really difficult when it comes to just what it means to overcome and to make it to the other side. And so I'm so excited that we're having this conversation. And so, of course, it's November. And I wanted us to really think about, like, during this time, what gratitude truly means to us, because I know from like personal experience, we can tend to start looking at other people and looking at, trying to figure out, gift giving and all these things, and we can forget about the reason for the season, and we can forget to be grateful for the things that we already have. And so I really wanted to dig in to the science of gratitude and how this can truly transform your life and kind of take you behind the scenes a little bit, of gratitude. And so there's a lot of reasons why we want to be grateful, right? There's so many reasons, but I think, research says that gratitude truly helps us improve our happiness, our well-being as well, right? Like, at the end of the day, we are happier, we're more resilient, and we have a greater overall sense of well-being when we practice gratitude. And I know, for myself, when I'm able to practice gratitude, um, it's been life changing. But at the end of the day, you know, when you're in a tough situation, sometimes it's hard to practice gratitude. But here's one of the things that I do. When I'm in a tough situation, what I try to do is I try to be as aware as possible. I think that we as human beings are not as aware as we should and could be. And I mean, it's just the truth, right? Like, I think that we could be more aware of our circumstances. We could be more aware of how we show up in our lives, but I just don't think that we are as aware. And so, as a practice, I try to show up and be more aware of my circumstances and the things that are happening in my life around me. And it's not always easy, but I try to be aware because of that. Because I know when I'm aware, then I can try to pick up the lessons that that thing is trying to teach me. But when I'm not aware, when I'm in my feelings, which we all have a right to be in our feelings sometimes, right? I know that I am in my feelings sometimes and I don't even want to get out. Sometimes you'll get mad at something and you're like, mm-mm, I just want to stay right here because this feels good. Um, and so we stay in those feelings, but when we stay in those feelings, it blocks our awareness. And it takes awareness to learn lessons that we wouldn't necessarily have learned otherwise. And so, one, I try to really stay aware, and I try to look at the lessons that a hard thing is trying to teach me. And sometimes in the moment, that's very hard. So if you can't do it in the moment, I would also say step back and try to figure out how you can do it outside of, outside of the moment, right? And for me, I think that this has been so prevalent and so true when I used to go through a lot of financial, problems in my life. And what's funny is it's like, how are you gonna be grateful to be broke? Not that you're feeling grateful to be broke, but you're grateful for the lessons that taught you. Because one of the things when I was back in the day, baby, let me just tell you, I was very bad with money, and I used to spend money. I mean, I pay bills. It was just not a great situation uh, when it comes to money and me. And so I always ended up not having money, which is quite rough when you're growing up. And so we grew up, we didn't have money, and I took on the thought mentality that money don't grow on trees, and it just seemed like we always lacked money. And for me, when I grew up, we that didn't change. I always lacked money for a reason. And then I would spend money, and I just didn't learn those habits, those healthy money habits that were going to allow me to be ultra successful. And so when I went through, I ended up going through and spending a lot of money on a program that, man, I think the program ultimately was a decent program, but did I have the money to spend on that program? No, not even a little bit. But I spent it anyway. Y'all know how we do. We spend, we spend money on credit cards. We do all the things, and I was like, no, mm-mm. I did not have it. And so I spent this money, and I put, my family in a very bad situation by doing so. And afterwards, I felt like crap. When I tell you I felt like trash, oh my God, it was just so bad. And it wasn't because my husband was, making me feel bad or anything like that. I just had really put us in a bad situation. And the lessons, though, after it was all said and done, because this was one of those ones in the moment, it was hard to be grateful, honey. But the lessons, though, that I learned from that, and the gratitude that I have for that lesson and for that experience allowed me to say, right now, we fine. I mean, I'm good. I mean, because here's the thing, right? When you grow up with a poverty mindset, that's a mindset. Like, you got to do work over years. You don't just overcome that. Like, you don't just be like, oh, you wake up the next morning like, oh, I had a poverty mindset yesterday, but today I have an abundance mindset, and I know how to handle money, and I know how to save, and I know how to do other things. No, it don't work like that, right? You have to go through some things. And it's so interesting. I always found this to be very interesting. When we asked the Lord to help us in an area that we're lacking, we do know we're going to get a challenge in that area, right? So I would always ask for patience, and y'all know I got two little ones. And so because I'm asking for patience, guess what? My patience is going to be tested, and is all the time, right? And so I'm learning how to practice patience because I get plenty of opportunity to practice patience, right? I asked the Lord to help me stop yelling so much. I got a yelling spirit. And so I'm trying not to have that no more with my kids. And I have plenty of opportunities to yell, but I'm trying not to, right? And so anytime we are asking the Lord for something, he's going to turn around and test us in that area. And so it was the same with me when it comes to money. I wanted to learn how to ultimately save money and not spend on things that don't move me forward or are not benefiting my family. And I was tested and I failed several times, right? And this time for me, this was the straw that broke the camel's back, because this time for me, I don't know, it was different from all the rest of the times that I would spend. Number one, I spent way more than what I normally spend. And number two, it really did affect our family. It really did affect our family. So I was literally, I guess it's what I call rock bottom. I hit rock bottom. And so now that I sit back and I think about that situation, I am grateful. I am so very thankful for that situation, because had that not happened, had it not allowed me to hit rock bottom, where would we be? Like, I mean, would I still be spending money frivolously? Would I still be buying things that are not necessary, or that are not moving our family forward? I mean, like literally, where would we be if I did not learn those lessons? And so I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the lessons that I learned. I learned how to say no. I learned how to not make um, quick decisions about large amounts of money in the moment. Because, people make you feel like this is the last one, you got to do it, you got to move, you got to do it. I don't do that nowhere in my life. And my husband's always been that way. He's been really, really good with that kind of thing. But for me, I've been more, I was always, very much more impulsive when it comes to that. And so now, though, I'm going to think about it before I give you anything, before I say yes to anything, especially when it comes to money. I'm thinking about that thing. Because I want to make sure that I'm making the right decision. And I also put parameters in place when it comes to talking to Jamil about those things as well. So I learned so many lessons. I learned how to truly save, right? A lot of people say, I know how to save. And I'm like, okay, great. How much money you have saved? Not like you got to tell me the number, but they're like, well, no, I don't really have much saved. Well, you don't know. Because here's the thing. What I learned during this time is even if you don't have a lot of money, you can save a little. Yep. You bring home $1, you can save 10 cents. Right. And so that's how I learned. So I say that gratitude has really allowed me to be more resilient. It has made me happier because I can sit back and count my blessings. I truly can sit back and count the blessings that I have in life. And so I just want to give you a couple of facts demonstrating the impact of gratitude on your mental health, because I'm a firm believer that it does. And so there's some research by a Dr. Robert Emmons, and his research says that it found that people who practice gratitude regularly report higher levels of positive emotions, stronger immune system, lower blood pressure, and a greater sense of happiness and optimism. What? Let me say it again. People who actually practice gratitude, meaning you wake up and you're going to be grateful. It might not be the best day, but you're going to be grateful. People who practice gratitude regularly report higher levels of positive emotions, meaning you are happier, you are joyful, you are zesty. You know what I'm saying? That's my word, right? You are all these things on a more regular basis. You also have a stronger immune system. I just got off the call or got off text with one of my clients who has been hospitalized since last Monday. Like, I'm so concerned. And so, you know, the stress and all the things that are going on in our lives, this is affecting our body. Like it really is. But practicing gratitude can help your immune system. It can lower your blood pressure. For any of us who are dealing with any kind of, health issues, it can lower your blood pressure and give you a greater sense of optimism and happiness. And the thing I love about optimism is because is the thing is, I don't think we practice it enough, right? The question is, what if it does go right? What if everything is okay? What if you do get the job? What if you do get the raise? What if you are able to start your own business? What if you do find your new boo? I mean, I think that we don't practice optimism enough. We live in a very doom and gloom world. And the media will have you think that ain't nothing positive going on. But I love this research because it says that if you practice gratitude, being grateful, then you can have more optimism. There's another study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology that says participants who kept weekly gratitude journals report higher levels of alertness, enthusiasm, determination, and energy compared to those who focused on daily hassles. So if you keep a daily gratitude journal, then you can be more alert, enthusiastic, determined, and have more energy. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm about to talk about a real quick way you can do that as well before we hop off of here. But absolutely sign me up. If you can create, if that's going to create more alertness, sign me up. Another study says the Harvard Medical School summary of gratitude studies. In this review, it highlighted that expressing gratitude can significantly enhance your relationships, foster social bonds, boost overall physical health, and make individuals more resilient to stressors. So again, same thing, right? Same thing. What is the saying? What is the saying? If I summed all these studies up, what we're saying is that if you practice gratitude, your overall well-being, from your mental to your spiritual to your health, you good. It's going to boost all those things just by saying and being thankful, saying thank you. And this is the best time to do that, right? This is the best time to do that. But really saying thank you and being thankful. I love that. I absolutely love that for us, right? And so I wanted to kind of break down the science of gratitude because I think it's so important that we remember that a lot of things that we think are just are, there is research based behind that thing. And like I said, I think it's hard to practice gratitude sometimes when you're feeling down and out or when you're in a tough space. But if you can muster up enough awareness to know where you sit in the space and to be looking for the actual lessons, then you're going to be good. So here's what I want you to be able to do. Is I want you to get a nice little beautiful journal. Y'all know we love journals, honey. I used to have a whole bunch of journals before I switched over to the Remarkable. It just works better for my life. But I used to have a whole bunch of journals. So, but I want you to get a journal, get whatever you feel like you want to write in. And then I want you over the next week or month to practice 3 good things. And what that means is at the end of the day, I want you to write down 3 things that you were most grateful for that day. Now, you need to do it at the end of the night because you need to capture those things that you were grateful for in the day, right? So it would be like for me, I'm grateful for, cleaning out my bathroom, right? I had some things I needed to clean out under the sink and everything like that. And I've been wanting to do it for a long time. Y'all know how it is when you need to purge and you just never get around to it. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I got that done, right? I'm grateful for this cup of coffee that I'm about to get because I need it in my life. So I'm grateful for that, right? So it doesn't have to be anything super big. It can be something tiny or small. It just depends on you. What brings you a smile on your face? And I really want you to practice that. Now, research says that doing this over a period of 7 days automatically helps you boost your happiness. And so I really do want you to try it for a minimum of 7 days. But if you want a challenge, go ahead and try it for the next month in 30 days and see what happens. I can see. I know what's going to happen. You're going to be ultimately happier. So I'm excited that we were able to dig into the science of gratitude on this month's coaching session. I look forward to seeing y'all next time, y'all. We are winding down this year, and I'm just excited that you decided to be a part of this community. Thank you so much for being part of the Thrive Tribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.